House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer released a resolution and accompanying report yesterday recommending the House GOP find Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress for his refusal to comply with the subpoena duly issued by the committee. And tonight, we're learning Hunter's art dealer is giving a closed-door deposition, which we know will consist of more lies to protect the Biden family from the Chinese money laundering scheme and other shady businesses and dealings. Let's bring in House Oversight Committee Chairman and Kentucky Congressman James Comer. Chairman, this guy, George Burgess, I've seen some pictures of him. I've seen the art gallery. Tell us what's going on with Burgess and Hunter.
Well, we brought him in. He's the art dealer that's sold all of the very expensive artwork that Hunter Biden had. We have no idea who bought the artwork. We have lots of questions, obviously, about the artwork. But one thing we know is when we learned about him selling this artwork, Republicans on Oversight early on at the beginning of the year when we began this investigation said that we expect there to be ethics laws and that we need to know who's buying the artwork. The White House, then Jen Psaki was the White House press secretary, said that they had put in place very strict ethics laws with George Burgess to make sure that no ethics lines would be crossed with Hunter's newfound business selling art. What we learned today, when George Burgess came in for his interview under oath, he's never communicated with the White House. He doesn't know anything about an ethics deal. This is another example.
Hold it right there. Jen Psaki told you and your committee that they put in place.
She told the American people
protections. Okay, she went to the podium and said they lie to the American people all the time. KJP can't stop lying. Her mouth is moving. She's lying. So, okay, did anyone tell your committee that there were protections in place where this Burgess character selling Hunter's artwork, who he's selling it to, because that really matters who they're selling it to, where the money came from, and what. I'm sure they're not paying $500,000 million for that garbage artwork that Hunter's blowing through a straw, paint onto a canvas. So did anyone tell you specifically directly to the committee?
All we heard, as you know, we don't communicate like we're supposed to with the White House. They have obstructed. They haven't provided information we requested. We demanded some type of transparency with respect to this artwork. And Jen Psaki went to the podium at a press conference and told the American people that they had put in place guidelines to ensure that no ethics lines would be crossed. Well, what we heard today when we brought Burgess in, and as you know, we're doing the depositions now. That's the phase we're in this investigation. He said he's never communicated with anyone from the White House. He doesn't know anything about any ethics laws. So this is another example of the White House lying to the American people about the shady business schemes of the Bidens. We also learned that 70% of the artwork was sold to big Democrat donors. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone either. So, look, the more we learn about the Bidens, the more we learn two things. Number one, they're selling access to influential people as well as bad people in bad countries. We don't know what those people are getting in return. And we also know that Joe Biden's not been truthful about any aspect of his knowledge or involvement in his
Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight, Chairman. Psaki tells him, you request from the White House, you want to know who's buying the stuff. Psaki goes to the podium to the American people and answers your question publicly and says, we've put in protections to make sure whatever's happening with this Burgess character is up and legal and not a foreign agent or whatever. And then when you ask Burgess the same question, he says, I don't know what she's talking about. I've never spoken to the White House. I've never made those promises, number one. And number two, did you then ask him, well, who did buy this stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did, and we'll be releasing that soon. But as I said earlier, 70% went to very influential Democrat donors. So again, you know, the fact that the White House hasn't been truthful about this, they said to the American people that they put ethics boundaries in place, and then we hear from the art gallery dealer who it's probably been close to a year since Psaki said that, has never even communicated with anyone from the White House. He doesn't know anything about any ethics laws or anything else. So, you know, again, we're going to bring in more people. But every time we interview someone, every time we get a new batch of bank records, every time we get access to more emails, we find more lies by this White House, more lies by the Bidens, and more ethics violations by the Biden family.